Hello everyone. Thanks for joining today's focus group webinar on Reports Revamp. This is the first major update to the Reports module, which brings forth a lot of highly requested enhancements. Stay tuned till the end to learn and make the most of the Revamp Reports module. Now let's get started. I am Sundarjan Siddharth and I will be walking you through today's session, briefing these different feature enhancements and their business use cases. We have our panel of experts to answer your questions and discuss interesting areas in this topic at the end of the session. Drop your questions in the Q&A section in the left panel and utilize this opportunity to ask as many questions as you have about today's topic. Now some housekeeping information. We have pre-recorded this session in order to avoid any technical difficulties. In case you encounter any technical glitches, do inform us in the chat. We'll try and rectify it as soon as possible. Before we dig deep into the session, let us check out today's agenda. First, we will understand why reports, what's new. Then we will discuss how to build, customize, perform actions, and set roles and permissions and better leverage the new reports with business use cases. Finally, we'll wrap up the session with a live Q&A. Now let's get started. Understanding insights gathered from data opens the door to business success. This data holds powerful information about your customers, employees, profit, sales opportunities, and other aspects of your business. It is important for one to derive insights from this data to track the latest trends and your organization's progress and growth, and to help you identify the latest trends and plan your budget. Reports in Zoho CRM help you visualize and break data into simple and valuable insights. It consolidates data into structured and appealing formats such as charts, list views, tables, etc., for ease of understanding and to grab a better picture of the complex data. Using reports, you can make data-driven decisions that will enhance the company's growth, project the overall trajectory of a company, and forecast the upcoming fiscal year. It provides us with valuable insights on macros like the revenue generated, deals closed, or micros like the calls a sales rep has made on an average. Analyzing these reports helps us identify the areas that need more attention, spotlights the star performer, and more importantly, simplifies the data to make informed decisions that reap benefits. We have been constantly working on enhancing the user interface and improving the overall experience of the report creating process. The valuable feedback from the community has helped us a long way in releasing this first ever major update in the reports module. Introducing you to the new reports. This being the first major update to the reports module, the objective is to give you more control over our powerful analytics while making the entire process of generating reports simpler and faster. The new reports lets you generate precise reports by accurately defining the relationship of modules in your report. The inclusive exclusive relationship lets you view shared entries or unique entries in two or more related modules, which we will see further while building a report. You can now transition from a high-level view of our sales data all the way down to the most crucial details. As you can see in the following image, we have selected a report for campaigns module. You can drill down further to see deals with campaigns and drill down to only view deals with codes and further codes with accessory items. This way, you can drill down a report to multiple levels. The addition of more related modules grant you the option to work with multiple set of data. You can also join multiple reports to get a deeper insights into your CRM data and learn how they directly impact your business decisions. Grand total and subtotal give you a top-down approach to your sales data, letting you make better data-driven decisions. Grand total is the sum of all records in the report. Subtotal is the sum total of all the records in the respective group. The new interface is built from the scratch to make generating reports faster and more intuitive. The new Zoho CRM report is so fast that you can get your report ready in just 3 clicks. We'll see this further in upcoming slides. With the new enhancements, now you can work with any related list history. For example, you want to just see the leads who have started to stagnate. You can see not only the leads whose states have stayed as not contacted, contacted and attempted to contact. You can see how long they have stayed in that state. Now you can also calculate grand total and subtotal in reports to give you a top-down approach to your sales data, letting you make better data-driven decisions. With new improved data export, you can now export up to 50,000 records in CSV and XLS format, up from previous cap of 20,000 records. Also, you can now work with up to file aggregation fields such as sum of, average of amounts, etc. As we have seen in the previous slide, it is important that your reporting features are powerful enough to unlock a deeper level of intelligence. Hence, we understood this need and designed the new Zoho CRM reports to reflect that. The revamped reports are now more efficient and robust as you can combine multiple modules, group relevant data, and get meaningful insights. For example, you can create a report for account and deals module to see the number of deals associated with that particular account. You can also drill down further by associating tasks module to check the number of activities or demos your sales representative has completed. The new revamped report module is more powerful and expedites the entire report generating process to fewer steps. Going forward, we will check out how to build and customize data inside using new reports. The Revamped Reports module lets you define the association of each module to generate specific and accurate reports. You can combine multiple modules and specify the relation to fetch precise insights. For instance, let's say you want to see contacts associated with accounts module. You can configure the reports as parent-child relationship to retrieve the data. Besides defining the modules, you have the option to choose between inclusive and exclusive relationship. The new reports allows you to build relationship between the data sets that matters displayed. You can do this by establishing the aforementioned parent-child relationship between the modules you want to include. You can group or filter data. You can run the report and view the preview. You can save and share the report, and later you can add them to folders and save it for CRM users or with some other external recipients too. Now let's understand the important components to building a report. The new revamped reports module allows you to combine more related modules than ever. The relationship between two modules is defined as parent and child module. The parent listing shows all the modules referred to in the lookup fields of the primary module, whereas the child listing shows all the modules referred to in the related lists of the primary module. If you want only primary module to create the report, you can skip choosing a child module. A parent module is related to the primary module via lookup. For example, if you want to know the number of invoices that are generated for a particular account or a company, and if there is a lookup field for accounts in the invoice module, then accounts can be selected as parent module for invoice. If you want to create a report which offers more complex insights into primary module, you can add multiple parent modules. For example, users created by and users lead owner can be added as parent modules for the leads module to display which CRM users have worked on each lead. Similarly, contact name, deal owner, campaign name can be added as parent modules for the deals module to include this information in the report. A maximum of 5 parent modules can be added to each report. The modules appearing in the primary modules related list can be added to the report as child modules. For example, if you choose deals as the primary module, only the modules linked to it via related list will be listed as child's module. You can use the parent-child relationship between modules to add more modules to the report. For example, if you choose deals as the primary module and then choose calls as the child module, then you can choose from the module which appear as the related list in the activities module, in the calls module to add another level of data. Now let's see the type of relationship between the modules. When choosing a child module for a report, you can choose whether you want it to have an exclusive or inclusive relationship with its parent module. The, this allows you to control which data should be shown in a report. An exclusive relationship will only show records from the parent module which have related data in the child module. For example, an educational institution report will display only the students have a scholarship. Choosing an exclusive relationship allows you to exclude data which is not required for the report. An inclusive relationship will show all the records in the parent module, whether or not they have related data in the child module. For example, you can create a report which displays all accounts, whether or not they have deals associated with them. Now let's look at an example of how David, who is the CEO of a company, Patricia, a sales manager, and Amelia, a sales representative, can create reports for their company. David wants to see the accounts added to the company and the status of the deals that are closed successfully for the discussion at the team board meeting. He can create a report with an exclusive relationship between accounts and the deals module and add an additional criteria under the filters for deal stage as closed one. However, Patricia wants to analyze last quarter's sales performance so she can see all the deals created in past quarter and show the respective accounts associated with them. In this case, she can create a report with an inclusive relationship between accounts and deals module. Amelia wants to submit a monthly report to Patricia and David on accounts which have had deals created for them in the last month, showing whether or not there are activities associated with those deals. She can create a report with an inclusive relationship between the accounts and deals module and an exclusive relationship between deals and activities and submit this to their respective CRM users. Now let's see how we can create a report in Zoho CRM. In your Zoho CRM, click on the reports module. To create a report, just click on create report. Choose the primary module from the drop-down for which the report needs to be created. In this case, I choose leads. If you want to add more data related to the primary module, click the plus icons to add additional modules. Click the green above the primary module to add a parent module, if you have any, or the blue below the primary module to add a child module. If you add a child module, choose the relationship type as either inclusive or exclusive. Once you have added all the modules you want to include, Click Continue. You will now see the data you selected arranged in a table. This can be customized as required. When creating a report, you can customize how you want to present the data by grouping or aggregating the columns and rows, filtering data, and showing or hiding fields. This helps you display the exact information you need to analyze how close you are to meeting your business goals. Now let's see how you can customize your reports. In the previous slide, we have seen how to create a report. Here, click the plus icon next to the columns on the right of the report to make any changes to the columns displayed in the report. You can add or delete columns from the report using the checkboxes. You can scroll down the list or use the search fields to search for a particular field you want to add or remove as a column. You can drag and drop the columns to reorder them. To resize the columns, click and drag the columns header. This option lets you decide the exact data that you need to see in the report and helps you declutter the report with unwanted data. You may not need all the data in your CRM for your report. For example, you might only want to display information about the leads created in last 30 days. You can add a filter to the report to limit the data it shows. Here in this report, you have Filters tab. Click on the icon next to Filters. You can choose the filter criteria in the Add Filter pop-up. There are two ways to create filters. You can either create date-based criteria to filter records based on the date fields in primary model used for the report, or you can create advanced filters using other fields and define the criteria that records must match to be included in this report. Now let's see how we can group data. If you have a large amount of data in a report, you can condense it into groups to make it easier to understand. Grouping data refers to segmenting or categorizing it based on specific properties. This will help you to focus on the important information that you're looking for. You can group rows and columns in reports to categorize the records based on specific criteria. For example, you added a few records to your CRM. You could create a report to view the records created in each month during that year. You can create a row group to categorize the records by added month. You might then want to be able to see the lead source for the records added in each month. So you could create a column group using the lead source field. This will allow you to view the leads created in specific month and their source for easy comparison. Row and column groups can be used to make it easier to summarize complex information or compare values in different fields. Grouping rows will allow you to group all the records in the same category. For example, you can create a row group for the industry field to consolidate customers based on work they do. To group rows, to group rows, click the plus icon next to the group row grouping, and you can choose the fields you want to group by from the list. In this case, I will choose industry. You can just hit save. Similarly, column grouping is used to create another layer of grouping within the row groups. For example, to categorize records that have already been grouped by industry by their annual revenue and account type, if you use both types of grouping, the data will be displayed in a grid format with both row and column labels, also known as matrix report. To group columns, click the plus icon next to the column group and choose the fields you want from the list. Now to aggregate data, This will allow you to perform calculations on the row and column groups you create. You can use these functions to display the sum, average, largest value, lowest value, and number of records. For example, you can find the average annual revenue and the total number of employees in each billing country. To aggregate data, click on the plus icon next to the aggregate columns and choose the fields from the list. In this case, I could choose annual revenue and the maximum of these visited. Now with the new updated reports, you can combine and compare different reports of the same primary module under one screen using joint reports. Joint reports lets you analyze multiple reports simultaneously. For example, you can compare the account creation rate of 3 consecutive months in tandem using joint reports to analyze which month yielded a good return. To join reports, to join reports, open an existing report, edit, and click the join report link at the top of the report. Here, click add report in the create join report and choose reports from the drop-down. You can, in this case, I'm choosing leads by industry. You can join a maximum of 3 reports. You can you can rearrange the report as required, and then you can save them for comparison. Now let's see how you can perform actions on reports. Now you can perform quick actions using the icon. Now you can perform quick actions using the icon next to the report's name on the reports list page. The run, edit, clone, and export options can also be accessed from each report. Once you have created a report, you can run it to preview how the data will be displayed. You can clone a report's data and customize. You can you can copy a report's data and customize by cloning it. Click the clone option and the clone report will automatically be opened. You can also export reports to download them in Excel, PDF, or CSV format. You can choose to export the report in either of the following types. A formatted export that includes all the row and column groupings you have created and will be exported in the exact formatting as seen in UI. A detailed report export, a detailed export that does not include any row or column groupings. You can export a maximum of up to 2000 rows in formatted export and 50,000 rows in detailed export. Make sure you sort the columns so that the rows you need to export are at the top. For example, in formatted report with 6,000 rows, only the top 2,000 rows will be exported. You can also sort order in reports. Ascending and descending are the sorting options available for columns in a report. The columns can be sorted in any order depending on the requirement. You can also delete reports that you no longer use. The deleted reports will appear in the recently deleted list for 30 days and then they will be permanently deleted. You can also choose to restore them from the recently deleted list or delete them permanently before 30 days have elapsed. Now, you can create visual representations of your reports data as charts. You can create a range of different types of charts like pie, bar, or line charts when you finish creating your report. To create a chart, go to the report and click Create Chart on the top right. Go to the report and click Create Chart. You can choose the field names here for grouping x-axis and measure y-axis. I have already select record count for measure y-axis and grouping campaign name. You can also choose the type of chart from the drop down. Here I can either choose pie chart, bar chart, donut chart. Here I'm just selecting a pie chart. You can also click more options to add benchmark and grouping limits to the chart. I'll click save. And as you can see, my chart is ready for the report. There are two types of users who can view reports. The report owner who created the report and the users the report is shared with. Permissions to create, view, and share reports are based on the user's role type. As an admin, I can create, view, and also share reports either to everyone or only me or to the selected users who wants to view the report folder. Now, you can share the reports with other members of your organization via emails so they can view and analyze them. You can either share them immediately or schedule the email to be sent at a specific time and date. To share reports via email, to share reports via email, choose a report, click the down arrow next to the edit option for the required reports in the list of all your reports. Click send email in the drop-down. Choose the user's email address in the recipient field in the send email pop-up. If you want to share the report with people outside your organization, you can enter the email addresses in the additional recipient field. Choose an export type for the file type. You can either send it as PDF, XLS, or CSV. Here I choose PDF. You can either schedule it for later or you can send it immediately and click send. And your report is sent successfully to the respective user. If you're dealing with many reports, it can be arduous to find and share specific reports. To avoid getting overwhelmed, you can create folders to track and manage your reports. For example, it may be helpful to create a folder containing all reports related to Q1. There are some predefined folders on the reports list page, such as all reports and favorite reports, etc. The custom folders that you create will be listed below these default folders. By default, folders are listed in the order they were created. You can also rearrange the folders in the order you want. When saving a report, you can choose the folder to put it in from the folder dropdown. To create a new folder, create a new report and click Save. Choose the Create Folder option from the folder dropdown. I save it as Q1 Deals. In the Create Folder pop-up, you can enter the name of the pop folder. You can you can select only me or everyone, or you can share with any specific users to access permissions for this specific folder. I select everyone and then click Save. I can also change the name of the report. You can change the folder's name, share it within your organization, or hide it from the list. These actions can be selected by clicking the icon next to the folder's name in the reports list page. To rename a folder, just click Rename and enter the new name in the Rename folder pop-up. You can also click Share and set the permission to everyone or only me or selected users in the Share folder pop-up. If you share selected users, select individual users to share the report with, or select groups, roles, um, and the subordinates to share the report with. When you share folders with users, they will automatically appear in the list in their reports module. You can also click Hide to hide the folder from the list. The reports in the folder will still be listed under the reports. To display a hidden folder, click the edit icon next to the folders and check the folder in the list. And in order to reappear, you can just check this back. You can also rearrange the order in which you want to see your reports folder. Now, to summarize in today's session, we have seen new enhancements and powerful reporting capabilities. We have seen the refreshed new user interface for the new reports. How we have also seen how to build and customize the reports, how to send reports via email, how to set permissions, and to create folders for the reports. With that, we have come to the end of today's session. We'll take questions now. Please use the chat box to post your questions. Our experts will help you with all the queries. Thank you for participating in today's session.